Hello, we are back in Book Nook number 2, Electric Boogaloo, and I've got another review just for you. This one is going to be from the Royal Road, which was the website that I had mentioned last time as the Golden Road. It is in fact not golden, it is royal, and it is where you can find many web novels and various other books from young authors, established authors, and soon to be popular authors make an offer to an author. This one is called Corpo Age. It is by an author who put out his first book. That's what this particular one is, located right here on your screen. And it is by RB Cat, which is his username on the website. It does have a physical book available. You can purchase it from Amazonia.com. If you happen to have found that ocean of files, PDF files, not the PDF files that you might be thinking of, Mark, you may have found a copy of Dungeon Life. On the same website, you should presumably be able to find a copy of Corpo Age. This particular book is a cyberpunk type of story. I would equate it to playing Cyberpunk Edge Runners, not Cyberpunk Edge Runners, which is an anime, a television show that you can't play, you can only watch it. I would equate it to playing Cyberpunk 2077 with Johnny Silverhand on easy mode. As always, our criteria for the book is readability, the characters of the book, the plot, the book cover itself. I like to judge a book by its cover, and to tie it all together, whether or not you should own this book, which usually equates to whether or not you should read this book. So, Corpo Age, or Corpo Arms, I believe is the title of the book, and I'm an idiot for not knowing that. Where is it? I swear, sometimes I'm the biggest idiot around here. Corpo Age, not Corpo Arms. Corpo Age, I was right. You know, I don't have the book here. Anyway, Corpo Age by RB Cat. Readability, again, a 2. It's not a simpleton's book. There's some things that you're going to need to understand about what's going on, like what airplanes are and what moon elevators or space elevators are. Um, not hard concepts, but not, children's book level of simple, clearly. So, readability, whatever, we can pretty much skip by that part. You probably already have. The characters. The characters. They're not memorable. Even the main character. I mean, it's difficult. It's difficult to remember because I'm just going to come out and say it. This book kind of sucked. For a first time, it's well written, it's well paced, but again, it's like Cyberpunk 2077 on easy mode. I have never read a book where everything for the main character went so smoothly that it was literally, again, like easy mode. And this is another isekai type game. What we have here is a guy who was getting ready to open up his own business. Again, it's so unmemorable, I don't remember his name. He was getting ready to open up a business. He gets killed. He gets isekai'd into the game. It is a game. This is a lit RPG game. But they made things too easy for their protagonist. The side characters, again, he picks them up like candy out of a bowl. They just pop up for him. Situationally, he couldn't have fallen into a better hand that he could be dealt if you play poker, which I do. And the author themselves doesn't really take any risks with the story itself or the characters. None of the characters that should presumably die in many of these situations, like what you saw from Cyberpunk Edge Runners, where virtually everybody's fucking dying. There could have been a bit more risk taken with this, where it's okay to murder your darlings. Okay, that's a term when you're editing things, or coming up with concepts or ideas. Don't marry your ideas, right? Murder your darlings. There's some things that just aren't worth it. And in the end, this book is one of them. Sorry, RB Cat. Sorry, Corpo Age lovers, readers. It was highly rated. I think it was like 4.5 or 4.6 for a first time novel on Amazon. Oh, I got attacked. Got attacked by a moth. 4.6 or 4.7 by all the bots on Amazon. So again, take that with a grain of salt. The rest of the characters are again not memorable. None of the crew is memorable. They go on adventures across Elevate City. I'm surprised I barely remembered the name of the city that they do a bunch of the main story in. He ends up being a stealthy guy, kind of like Sung Jin Woo in. Well, no, Sun Woo, the guy from Solo Leveling. He doesn't really do stealth. He has it, but he doesn't really utilize it so much. This guy really relies on stealth, and he relies on being a corpo. He becomes a corpo. So if you've ever played the corpo storyline in 2077, then this book might be a little bit more for you. You've got the typical stuff like hacking. You've got chrome. People get chromed out. Even the main character gets some chrome eventually. But one of the things that happens super, super early on is the main character just has a whole bunch of shipping containers full of chrome that he kills like 12 guys for and gets set up for life, basically. So right away, I was like, really, dude? This guy's just going to get everything handed to him? Why? If there's no struggle for the main character, what the fuck is the point? What are we doing here? So characters, a 1. A 1. None of them have any standout traits. None of them have any standout dialogue. None of them die. None of them matter. You could have plugged any other body in that situation, and it would probably work out for this protagonist. So let's just get to the plot and the story and all that stuff, because I've already kind of nitpicked that a little bit as well. As a lit RPG, the leveling up is way too convenient as well. At one point, I think he goes from level 9 to 11. There's no explanation for why. The most that the author goes through to acknowledge the fact that this is a game is he will occasionally write plus 10 XP. So if he goes on a night excursion and kills 3 or 4 guys in a row, what will happen is on the page, you'll see plus 10 XP, plus 10 XP, plus 10 XP, plus 10 XP. And then the character may or may not make a comment about, oh, I got some experience for that. In the beginning, yeah, it happens. He even gets money and experience for going to an everyday job. Then it just kind of like stops for a while. And then all of a sudden it pops back up. And then all of a sudden it jumps around. At one point he tabulates the experience incorrectly as well. So that could be fixed in future iterations. So yeah, the plot again, guy is killed, isekai'd into a cyberpunk paradise. He wants to become a businessman, so he wants to become a corpo. He goes through the paces of leveling himself up, cleaning up the streets, fighting a little bit of crime, a little Batman action. Again, unoriginal. He literally does it at night, Batman style, and ends up with a ragtag group of people from rescuing various situations. And as a result, what you're left with is too simple of a story. Too many things go right, not enough things go wrong, nobody dies. In fact, the closest somebody comes to dying, they should have for all intents and purposes. But again, let's chrome them up. So it just, everything is too convenient. Everything goes the way that it should. 1 out of 5 on the plot. Not interesting in the slightest. The book cover, uninspiring. It is, again, it's right here. Just wanted to refresh my idea of it again. It's some skyscrapers. It's a little bit of blue-orange action, if you've seen that 8,000 times on movie posters. You've got the font real big in the, futuristic type of font. Uninspiring. I had just gotten done with something with cyberpunk, and I was like, let me go down that train and see what happens. And this was not the train to get on. So if you've been given tickets to this train, don't bother showing up for the ride. Don't worry about it. I give this a solid 1 out of 5. This whole book. You shouldn't own this book. You shouldn't have it on your bookshelf. I'm going to probably delete the ebook. I don't even want it taking up memory on my book reader. Not fun for anybody in my brain. If you've read it and you liked it, let me know. Please let me know. I would love to know if somebody else read this book, what they think about it. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't think I am. I think it's very clear that as a new writer, they just didn't take any risks and wanted everything to go the way that it was supposed to go. So, again, if you like this review, you probably don't, because I stated from the very beginning that this book sucks. Not all of them are going to be 4s out of 5s, 3.5s out of 5s. It's not going to happen. This one, it will never happen with me. It's a 1 out of 5. It should get a 0, in all honesty. It should get 0 stars. But I'm a nice person. I'm going to give them at least 1 for making an effort. I haven't written my book yet. So, they at least went through the paces, wrote a book, did good paces. So, good pacing. All right? I'll give them the paces. They went through the paces and they paced them relatively well. There's some parts where the RPG stuff bounces around. But otherwise, leave a comment if you read it. Like it if you liked the fact that I didn't grade this one a 4 out of 5 for a change. And as always, hit the subscribe button when it blinks at you for that subliminal messaging. And take a look at the next one. And, in the future, I'll have something better for you. I promise. In the meantime, have a good day, a good evening, and adieu.